Hey everybody, this is Anushka. Another video that I'm doing. This one is about Saturn return, and having Saturn in your sign and what it kind of feels like. I've been going through this for the last 2 years pretty much, and I'm a Scorpio rising, and my sun sign is Sagittarius, so I've had Saturn transiting my rising sign, going through all of that, and that ends in December of this year, and then we go on to Saturn in my sun sign. So I've got 4 years of Saturn to really deal with, and so I feel like I'm being really taken apart and broken down, and being rebuilt from the inside completely. And I just wanted to share my experience of the whole Saturn return thing. So I don't know if, for those of you who know about astrology, the rising sign, it's the mask that we show to the world. It's the persona that we put out there. The sun sign is more our actual ego. So I've been going through Saturn transiting through my rising sign. So it's been a crazy journey, I've got to admit. Suffice to say, I had a lot of barriers, I had a lot of skeletons in my closet, I had a lot of things I was hiding from myself even that I couldn't face, and they all came to the surface. And I think Saturn entered Scorpio in October of 2012, and this is where it really did all begin. It was a catalyst, a huge catalyst for me, and I found myself having to really confront aspects of myself that I had avoided for so long. The facade that I put up to others suddenly broke hugely, quite painfully at times. I don't want to go into too much detail, but suffice to say that due to some things that went on in my childhood, I projected a certain persona. I literally wore a lot of masks in different situations because I wasn't comfortable being myself. I didn't believe anyone would love me for who I was. And so Saturn in my rising sign really, really tore this away and kind of said, who are you? Who are you to everyone else? And people kind of got to see me for the bare bones of who I truly was, which scared the hell out of me, I must admit. There was a breakdown of a lot of things, relationships, jobs, a lot of things, family situations, and I found myself being left essentially on my own. I wasn't truly on my own, I know I had close friends that I could have called on, and I could have gone to certain family members, but you can understand it when you go through it. At the time, I knew that wasn't the right thing to do. That wasn't what was to be done. I had to deal with this breakdown of my infrastructure by myself. I had to rebuild it myself. So it's been crazy. Like I said, my job situation has completely changed now, for the better. I have far more freedom. I'm able to be myself. I'm able to actually project. Where I am now, I project the me that I've always been. So, I'm now known for things like singing and painting and blogging and writing and expressing myself. Whereas before, those were things I'd always held in, and I just stuck with the routine job that I had because I was afraid of branching out into those areas. And so Saturn in my rising has brought me to that place. It kind of broke down those outer things that I was relying on, my safety net, and said, look, what is it you really want to do with your life? Because you're not doing it. And the nice thing is now I am, and it feels great. And don't get me wrong, there's been times when there hasn't been much money, but I've realised it's really not about the money at all. So that's one thing I've experienced. Another thing that I've experienced, having Saturn transiting my rising sign, is the personality, or what I used to project to the outer world. Like I said, your rising sign is your mask. So the Anushka that everyone knew me as is very different to who I am now. And I've had so many people say to me, you look so much happier, you are so much happier, you know, there's a lightness about you. And it's true, and I feel it. I've really had to confront my issues with other people and how I relate to the world, how I relate to new situations, how I project myself. I've really had to confront that. And the plus side, it's been hard, like I said, there have been times when I've been so confused and I felt like I haven't known what the hell to do or what's going on, or there's something wrong with me or I'm going crazy. But now, who I am at my core matches up with what I project to other people, whereas before it didn't. Before, it was very clouded. What I projected to other people was not my true self. I held back a lot. I was so fearful of rejection and people not liking me for who I was and opening up and things like that. Whereas now, I'm a lot more open, I'm a lot more loving, I've accepted myself a lot more. Yeah, so it's just been insane. And people talk about the Saturn transit because it's a huge deal. We all go through it between the ages of like 28 to 30. It tends to be around there. And you suddenly find, I remember when I was younger, I had a few friends who were 3-4 years older than me, and they started hitting the Saturn transit, and I didn't realise that was going on at the time because I wasn't that clued up with my astrology. And all of a sudden everyone started thinking about their future and what they're going to do with their lives, and it's like getting really serious. And I laughed because I was still like, what, 23 at this point, 23, 24? And I was like going, you guys are, what the hell's going on? Like, you're all panicking about your future and what you're doing, like what's up? And I thought it must be a weird thing that you reach when you hit 30. Now I understand it's the Saturn transit. It kind of, you know, it spends 28, 29 years in that cycle. It comes back around and says, right, I'm going to get to the core of who you are. Who are you? You've got to show me, you've got to prove this. And you go through so many, not tests, but initiations, I would say. The things that are true for you, the things that really represent who you are as a person, they will stick. The things that don't, the things that don't fit you anymore, the things that you've outgrown, the old habits you have that are doing you no good, oh, they will be tested and they will be ripped away. And if you try and hold on to them, it'll be an even more painful process, trust me. The easier you can learn to let go of what no longer serves you, the better. That's what I found. So I'm in my last stages of Saturn transiting my rising sign. It finishes December, I think 22nd or 23rd. And one of these things is that I'm actually going to be confronting tomorrow is smoking. I'm done with smoking. I don't want to smoke anymore. And I still feel like it's something, I think it's something I started doing as a way to fit in. And it was, how can I put it? I'm just trying to find the words. It was maybe a status thing, a rebellion thing when I was younger. But now it doesn't fit anymore. So tomorrow I'm actually having hypnosis to help me quit, so wish me luck. So that's one thing I really want to let go of, and I'm hoping that you know, comes to fruition and that works. It's also a full moon as well. I can't remember on which side, I think it might be in Taurus. So it's a very grounding full moon, and this full moon is all to do with a lot of healing and health and well-being, so hopefully that will support me, who knows. Yeah, so I don't know, I just wanted to speak about the Saturn transit and just say, for anyone who's going through it, do the best you can to embrace it, because the more that you try and fight it, the more you hold on to these things that you know aren't working for you anymore, the more painful it will be. And be prepared to have to confront yourself. Be prepared to have situations come up and you go, oh my god, I don't know who the hell I am. Just be prepared for that. Sorry, it's gone really dark. And but don't be afraid, because when you come out of it, on the other end, you'll come out shining and beautiful like a butterfly. It will refine who you are. It will take away the dross and the unneeded stuff, and it will lighten you and unburden you. if you can work with the energy of Saturn. She's so powerful, but she's also, it's for our greatest good. That's why we experience this. So I'm kind of I'm nervous, but I'm also excited to see what happens after December, because, like I said, I'm Scorpio rising and Sagittarius ascendant, so I'm not done with Saturn at all. So I'm going to have it go from my rising sign into my sun sign, and that will affect my ego a lot. So I have no idea what's going to happen there, or what changes may come. I have a feeling I'm going to get really, it's going to be a case of getting down to business, and I don't know, we'll see. But I will definitely update you and let you know what's happening. And I would love to know what's going on with other people who are going through the Saturn transits as well, because it's such a change. It just changes your perspective and the way you relate to others and to yourself, and your understanding of the universe and the world at large. It's amazing, but it is a blessing. So just don't be afraid. Just try and work with the energy, and I promise you'll come out okay. All right, take care.